Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is I, Jolting Joe, coming to you from my back porch here on Tuesday, May the 2nd. And what are you drinking? What are you smoking? Today I got one of my favorite cigars. This is the Rocky Patel Vintage 2003, the Cameroon wrapper. Cameroon is my personal favorite wrapper. I just like it a lot. It's just nice and kind of a medium smoke, but it got a little bit of it's got flavor to it. It's just one of my favorite all time wrapper. Mm. And what goes good with a Cameroon? Well, anything chocolate flavored. So I reached into the fridge for a Yingling Hershey's chocolate porter. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, that's cold. All right, and let's do the old. It's a twist off, but I'm gonna use a bottle opener. All right, and here we go. In my 26th anniversary St. Arnold's glass. Their 29th anniversary is coming up here pretty soon, actually. Look at that. There we go. All right. Now, this is less than a 12-ounce glass. Actually, this one is at 12 ounces, I think. Yeah, look at that. It is. Boom. There you go. Cheers, everybody. Mm-hmm. Good and chocolate tea, my friends. All right. Well, just real quick before we get into everything, I went to the Astros game last night. Just to be completely honest with you, it's getting kind of ridiculous to go to a baseball game, depending on where you're at in the country and if your team's good or not. Just to give you an example with the Astros, they do the dynamic pricing. So obviously, weekend games are more than weekday games. Also, if there's a premier opponent in town, they're going to charge you more. They're going to charge you more for the Yankees. They're going to charge you more for the Red Sox. They're going to charge you more for maybe the Cubs because it's just because Cubs fans travel a lot. And so, like for opening day, for instance, now we sit up in the nosebleeds, 400 level, freaking, up high. And I think I paid 120 bucks or something like that to sit up there. All right, and just to give you an example, the next night, Friday night, against the White Sox, game two was $100 cheaper. It was a $60 ticket the next night. So I was like, fuck you, Astros. It's like, I love you, but fuck you. But they charge it because they know they can get it. Hell, I fucking paid it, right? I wanted to see that fucking banner go up, so I paid it. But, going with a family of four, it's, fucking, or anybody really, baseball can be fucking expensive. I'm paying $20 for a goddamn beer for crying out loud. But the Astros, for select weekday games, they actually have Coca-Cola's doing a thing called the Coca-Cola bundle, but it is the 400 level, but they have some good seats in the 400s, and you can see from up there. It's fine. It's a good view, and so for $22 per ticket, you get a soda, you get a popcorn, and you get a hot dog, and you get ticket to the game, all for $22. So we did that last night for Space City Monday, and it's set in the first row of section 420, kind of behind home plate. So for $22, and I got a hot dog, and I got a popcorn, and I got a soda, which normally a hot dog's like $6, and popcorn's like $6, and a drink's like $6. I mean, that's like 20 bucks right there. And then I got the ticket included. Pretty good value. So kudos to the Astros. And if you want to go to an Astros game, try the Coca-Cola bundle days. That's a good one to go to. Like I said, very good one to go to. All right. So, of course, we still get the old. Uh, Looks like there's like wood in my Yingling. Very, very well be. Hold on a second. What are you? Might just be sitting at the beer. Fuck it, I'm gonna drink it. I don't give a shit. Yeah, fuck it, whatever. Okay. Tell you what, let's do this here. All right, we'll go to Espen, and then we'll kind of do our recap here, see what's going on. with everything. So let's NBA. We'll start with the NBA playoffs. Let's go back to Tuesday. So going back to Tuesday, the Hawks beat the Celtics, and the Boston cut the Boston lead to 3-2. The Nuggets beat the T-Wolves to close that series out, 4-1, and then the Suns closed out the Clippers 4-1. All right, and then last Wednesday, the Knicks defeated the Cavaliers, closed that series out. The Grizzlies cut into the Lakers' lead, made that one 3-2. The Heat closed out the Bucks in overtime. What the fuck happened to Milwaukee? And fucking Miami is a goddamn 8 seed. And I didn't watch I didn't watch that game, but I did kind of follow it a little bit on Twitter. And apparently the Bucks were really good, and the Bucks stunk it up. But what the fuck, man? The Bucks lose in 5. I know they were missing Giannis for one of those games, but Miami beats them in overtime, closes out the series in 5. I mean, I don't know. There was a reporter that asked Giannis if he considered the season a failure, and Giannis gave a very thoughtful answer, and it was the heat of the moment. I'm sure he was pissed off, and he tried to be polite to the reporter. He was like trying to keep his anger in check, basically, because he was like, you asked me this last year, but Giannis' thing was like, there is no failure. It's just, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Kind of is what it is, which I get, but at the same time, I mean, you're Milwaukee, you're the fucking number 1 seed. You had a hell of a season, and not only to lose in the first round, but to lose in 5 games. I mean, they almost got swept, for crying out loud. Just did not show up, and just, man, I don't know. If you're a Milwaukee fan, and I know a Milwaukee Buck fan, and he was not happy. Jesus Christ. And then and then Golden State beat the Kings to go up 3-2. Thursday, the Celtics closed out the Hawks, so the Celtics ended up advancing. Friday, the Kings beat the Warriors to force Game 7. The Lakers closed out their series with the Grizzlies. And then here's where the NBA schedule I thought was kind of fucked up, because on Saturday, the Suns and the Nuggets actually opened up their second round series, and the Nuggets actually beat the shit out of the Suns, 125-107. And I think was that last night, or was that the night before? Hold on a second. No, it wasn't Monday. Or was it Monday? No, that was yesterday. Okay, hold on, I'll get to that in a second. So the Nuggets beat them, but they started the second round of that series, and Golden State and Sacramento haven't even played Game 7 yet. So I don't know what the fuck. I guess they're just starting the series early just to see, because the NBA playoffs go on for fucking 2 months. It's freaking insane. But anyway, so there you go. But the Nuggets beat the Saints to take the Suns to take Game 1. Then Sunday, I did watch a little bit of the Heat-Knicks game. Fucking Heat, man, are actually pretty good. I just talked about them. I mean, they knocked Milwaukee off in 5 games, but they go into New York. Knicks have been pretty good at home. And it was a close game, but the Miami pulls away there at the end. They ended up winning 108-107. Like I said, I watched a little bit of that game. And Miami just looked really fucking good, man. I don't know. Maybe they are that good. Maybe fucking 8 seeds going to the NBA Finals. I don't fucking know. I doubt it, but I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? Just Miami's playing really fucking good right now. That's all there is to it. And then, unfortunately, the Warriors beat the Kings in Game 7, 120-100. And I did catch a little bit of that game. The Sacramento was up in that game. They were actually playing pretty good. And then the fourth quarter came, and then they just looked like absolute trash. And it escalated quickly. It went from, the Kings being up, I don't know, we'll just say 4 points, something like that, to being down 10. It was fast, and then they end up losing by 20. So Kings move on to the second round. Once again, that Miami Knicks game, that was Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. Last night I was at the ball game. I was checking it on my phone. I did see that James Harden went the fuck off last night against the Boston Celtics, and the 76ers end up pulling out the Game 1 victory over the Celtics, 119-115. And like I said, I think Harden dropped 45 last night. Like I said, as I was sitting at the ball game, I was going to keep an eye on that one and getting all the ESPN updates and things like that, but I sounded like that was a pretty damn good game. No Joel Embiid for the Sixers. He was out with the knee injury, and of course it was kind of expected, but then Harden just stepped up and and whatever. And if you're a Rocket fan, you know that James Harden does not show up in the playoffs. And for him to step up and drop 45 in the playoffs, that was a pretty big fucking deal. So there you go. But the 76ers are looking goddamn good. And then last night, once again, I was at the ball game, got home. Nuggets ended up beating the Suns 97-87. Chris Paul left that game with a groin. There we go. I always have problems with that word for some reason. Groin injury. And once again, if you're a Rockets fan, we know about Chris. We know about his hamstring. Last night though was a groin injury. He strained his groin, and so he got pulled out of that game. And then Nuggets take a 2-0 nothing lead in that one tonight. The Lakers and Warriors start. God damn! Can I root for the Meteor in that game? Yeah, I don't like either one of those teams. Maybe it's California. Maybe there's a major earthquake and the arena gets swallowed up. San Francisco. I don't know. All right, but hopefully nobody dies or gets injured. But just maybe a small earthquake and they gotta stop the game. You know what I mean? Mm, mm. All right, but game one's tonight, and then game two for the Heat and Knicks is on the night. So first game, Knicks Heats, 6:30 TNT tonight. The Knicks are 6.5 point favorites. I don't know. They're gonna rebound after game two. I don't know. I might take Miami in the 6.5. And then Golden State's a 4.5 point favorites against the Lakers. Man, I'll tell you what, the way the Lakers are playing. Now, granted, the Warriors are at home. Warriors play really well at home. They play like shit on the road, but they play really well at home. So 4.5 on that one. But we'll see what the Lakers do tonight. So that one doesn't start till 9 o'clock Central time. So yeah, not till 10 o'clock on the East Coast, man. What the fuck? Like. I get it. It's only six. I mean, nine. It's 7 o'clock on the West Coast. You can still start that game an hour earlier. Damn, that's late. Anyway, whatever. Okay, so that's good. So we got game two going up there. So right now, Miami up on the Knicks 1-0. The Denver's up on the Suns 2-0. And then, of course, the Lakers and the Warriors have game one tonight. Let's move to the NHL. Once again, let's go back to last Tuesday when I left you. That was a good cigar. The Dallas Stars, they shut out the Wild 4-0 to take a 3-2 lead in that series. The Islanders beat the Hurricanes to take a cut the lead the Hurricane lead down to 3-2, and then the Oilers beat the Kings to go up 3-2 in that one. Then on Wednesday, the Panthers beat the Bruins in overtime 4-3. That cut the Boston lead. The Boston was up 3-1. We'll circle back around on this one. But Boston was up 3-1, and then that made it 3-2. The Panthers, they won that one in overtime. And then the Kraken defeated the Avalanche and took a 3-2 series lead. We'll talk a little bit more about that one too. Then we had the Lightning beat the Maple Leafs on Thursday. Toronto had a 3-2 lead at that point. The Devils shut out the Rangers. They took a 3-2 series lead in that one. And then Vegas took care of the Jets, and Vegas knocked out Winnipeg. Vegas moved on Thursday. Then on Friday, the Stars clinched their series. I did watch a little bit of that one. Stars looking good in that one. They won 4-1. Got a couple kind of extended the lead there in the third period. They end up closing out their series 4-2. Hurricanes take out the Islanders in overtime 4-2. They closed out. Then the Panthers beat the Bruins 7-5 to force a game 7. Once again, we'll get back to that one. And then the Avalanche beat the Kraken 4-1 to tie that series at 3 as well. Moving to Saturday. The Maple Leafs defeated the Lightning in overtime 2-1 to close that series out. Maple Leafs moving on. The Rangers beat the Devils 5-2. That series tied at 5 after Saturday, and then Edmonton defeated the Kings 5-4. Edmonton moving on. Then on Sunday, In overtime, the Panthers win the game 4-3. They got a late third period goal to tie the game at 3, force overtime. They win the game in overtime. The Bruins blow a 3-1 series lead. They had set the record for most wins in an NHL season. They had 63. And people are talking about the President's Trophy curse. Now, if you're not a hockey fan, I don't want to ash, but I'm afraid that's just going to fall. All right, but that's a good ash right there. Look at that thing. Ooh, all right. But if you're not a hockey fan, the President's Cup, it goes to the team with the best record. And the thing about it is in the last 20 years, only 2 teams have won the President's Cup and won the Stanley Cup. The last time that it happened was 10 years ago when the Chicago Blackhawks won the President's Cup and then, believe it or not, defeated the Boston Bruins in the Stanley Cup. Last time it's happened has been 10 years. And yeah, blew a 3-1 series lead. Panthers end up winning 4-3 in that one. Panthers moving on. And then the Kraken, the expansion Kraken, they did knock off the defending Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche 2-1 to win that series in 7 games as well. You always got to root for the underdog in an expansion team facing the defending Stanley Cup champions. Just a good Phil story on that one, and that was just a lot of fun. So they were moving on. Last night, the Devils blanked the Rangers 4-0 to win that series 4-0. And so tonight we've got the Kraken at the Stars. That game starts at 8:30 on ESPN, and then the Panthers and the Maple Leafs play at 6 o'clock on ESPN. And then on Wednesday, it'll be the Devils taking on the Hurricanes and the Oilers taking on the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Now, I'm a Texas guy. I got to root for the Stars against the Kraken. But, damn, I mean, should be a good series right there, I'll tell you what. All right, so there you go. All right, so there's your recap. And guess what I forgot to mention? The NFL Draft. All right, the NFL Draft was last weekend as well. Now I did watch the first round. That's about all I usually watch is the first round. Hell, let me see if I can get to the draft on here. Oh, real quick, XFL Roughnecks got beat. DC got won. It's going to be DC and Arlington Renegades. The Renegades, fucking 4-6, taking on the 9-1 Defenders. That'll be Saturday, May the 13th for the XFL championship game. All right, let me see if I can find the draft. There we go, draft. Boom. All right, pull this up and yeah, let's go by rounds here. All right, perfect. Okay. Like I said, the draft was from Kansas City. I think they had over the 3 days, they had 300,000 people or something stupid like that. It was crazy. A buddy of mine was actually at the draft. He lives in Kansas City. He's a big Chiefs fan. He went out there for it. So he had a blast. So draft order comes to Houston. I'll fucking go. Just to go. No surprise, the Carolina Panthers took Bryce Young with the #1 pick. And then things get interesting. Now, of course, being here in Houston, Texans have been a dumpster fire for the last couple of years. Looks like Hannah McNair, Cal's wife, finally took control of the team. It was like, baby, you ain't good at this. I'm going to run the team now. Things have gotten better. They hired D'Amico Ryans, great hire. And things are starting to look up for the Texans. So I was a little shocked. There was talk that they were going to take Will Anderson at 2. And I was like, they've got to draft a fucking quarterback, don't they? I mean, they have to, unless you weren't in love with any of the quarterbacks. But it's the Texans, man. They got Davis Mills, who we know what he is. He sucks. They got Case Keenum. We know what Case Keenum is. He's a backup quarterback. So you almost had to take a quarterback. And the folks here in Houston thinks that the ownership, basically, Hannah came down and told Nick Caserio, the GM manager, yeah, you're drafting a fucking quarterback. All right, if you want Will Anderson, you can go get him, but you're drafting a fucking quarterback first. And sure enough, the Texans took C.J. Stroud of Ohio State. So Bryce Harper of Alabama goes 1 to Carolina. C.J. Stroud goes number 2. Shocked the shit out of me. I'm not even a Texans fan, but I was like, holy shit, they did go with a quarterback. They did pick Stroud. And so they ended up drafting Stroud. And then Nikki C, man. Holy shit, Nikki C. Nikki C trades up from 12 with Arizona to get the number 3 pick. Now they did give up a lot for it. There was basically a pick swap. So Arizona moved down to 12. Texans moved up to 3. And then I think the Texans got a 4th rounder from Arizona, but then they gave up a 1st round pick or maybe next year and some other stuff. Hold on, I can't remember. What were the fucking details on that? Shit, I had the pictures and then I fucking traded them away. Hold on a second. Let me go to teams and let me see if the Texans. Let me see if it says what they gave up. It doesn't. Boo. All right. Wait, what's that say? Let's see. Okay, let me go to Will Anderson here to see what it says. All right. Yeah, fuck, that doesn't mean no good either. Anyway, they gave up a lot. All right, but the thing about it is if he's that good, if Will Anderson's that good, they're not going to give a shit how many draft picks they got. But like I said, it was a ballsy move by Nick Caserio. Also, too, the NFL draft set a record this year. They had 64 trades in the draft this year. That was an NFL record. But yeah, 64 trades this year. But they traded up and they got Will Anderson. So I thought I thought the Texans did an excellent job there in that 1st round. They went and got their quarterback, and then they went and got Will Anderson. And that was fantastic, I thought. And then the Colts took Anthony Richardson, quarterback out of Florida, number 4. No kind of shocker there with C.J. Stroud off the board, Bryce Harper off the board. And then let's see. And then the next thing, well, after that, I should tell you that Will Levis started falling and was just in the green room on his phone hoping somebody was going to draft him. But the thing about it is the Seahawks didn't need a quarterback. The Cardinals did not need a quarterback. The Raiders did not need a quarterback. The Falcons really didn't need a quarterback. The Falcons actually took Bijan Robinson out of UT. I think he's going to be a great running back. Then Jalen Carter, and then the Eagles took Jalen Carter, defensive tackle from Georgia. 9, they don't need a quarterback, and they traded, I think, with Tennessee on that one. But they traded, and then Chicago traded up and to number 10, and so that put Tennessee at number 11. And Tennessee could use a quarterback, but they didn't draft Will Levis. They went with Tennessee went with where'd he go? Peter Skoronski, offensive tackle from Northwestern, is who they went with. And I was a little shocked by that, to be completely honest with you. And as a result of that, Will Levis remained undrafted through the 1st round of through the draft. But like I said, I was really shocked that Tennessee did not take him at number 11, but I guess they figured that if they wanted him, that they could pick him up in the 2nd round, because Detroit didn't need a quarterback, Green Bay didn't need a quarterback, Pittsburgh doesn't really need a quarterback, the Jets don't need a quarterback. Well, I mean, Washington could have used the quarterback, but they're going to ride with Howell this year. Patriots don't need one, and then Detroit had another pick. Who the hell's the quarterback in Tampa now? Brady's gone. I don't know. They might have been able to use a quarterback. They didn't take one. Seahawks back on the board. Chargers don't need a quarterback. Ravens end up re-signing Lamar Jackson. They didn't need a quarterback. By the way, Lamar Jackson signs the richest deal in history. He actually beat Jalen Hurts' one on the AAV, I think, was $52 million, $53 million, something like that. A couple more $1 million more than Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen was at $50 million on his AAV. And then... But yeah, it was a shit ton of money. But they signed, and then the Vikings have Kirk Cousins, the Giants have Daniel Jones, obviously the Bills have Josh Allen, Dallas has Dak, Jags have Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow's got Cincinnati, the Saints traded for Derek Carr once, and then the Eagles back on the clock, and then of course Pat Mahomes, and so nobody really needed anything. So when you moved to round 2, once again, Pittsburgh had the number one pick. They swapped it. They traded up, and then Tennessee traded up, and then they went and got Will Levis in the second round with the second round pick. But Will Levis, like I said, he got suited up with his smoking hot girlfriend, and she didn't look too happy. He would looked like he was just kind of like, really, really, okay, is this how this is gonna go? Went home, and then gets drafted with the second pick in the second round. But he does lose it on some money because, of course, there's a little bit of difference from a first round pick and a second round pick. But that's what's going to happen with that. And that's kind of the big stuff. I'm not going to bore you with all the other picks and this stuff. If you got a team, you can go through and you can look at it. My shitty ass Commanders took a fucking cornerback, which they need, by the way. They need cornerbacks. Then, but the guy they took apparently is, he's like a buck 60. He is fast though. He is a ball hawk, which is good, which is what they need. But apparently, from I'm not a draft expert by any stretch of the imagination. I don't watch that much college football. But apparently, there was a couple of guys that were graded better that they could have taken, and instead they end up taking. Let's see, what's his name? Because they drafted at 16. They took Emmanuel Forbes out of Mississippi State. Because apparently, let's see, was Christian Gonzalez one of them? Maybe Demonte Banks, I think, was one. But yeah, there was a couple corners that they thought were a little bit better that got taken later that they could have picked up. But yeah, they took Emmanuel Forbes. But like I said, they need fucking cornerbacks. So Jesus Christ. But hey, we got new owners. Dan Snyder's gone. Fuck it. I'm just so happy about that. I'm so glad Dan Snyder's gone. Jesus Christ. There was much rejoicing. All right, basically with that. So holy fucking hell. All right. Uh, so that was the draft. Um, Baseball wise, kind of the interesting thing, the Padres and the Giants played down in Mexico City, and that first game, uh, what was that? Saturday? Was that Saturday's game or Sunday? I think it was Saturday's game. Yeah, it was Saturday's game. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Mexico City. Final score: San Diego 16, Giants 11. There, uh, there were 11 combined home runs. Now you have to remember Mexico City is over a mile up for altitude. I think the altitude in Mexico City is like 7,000 feet. It's higher than Denver is, mile high, and that stadium is not as big as Coors Field is. Coors Field, of course, accounted for the altitude, and even when the balls were juiced and before they were using humidors, Coors Field was a big fucking ballpark. I mean, it was a lot of real estate out there in Coors Field. They cover something like 5 acres. That field does. It's huge. Uh, I've been to Coors. That is a great stadium. I love Coors Field. Uh, just absolutely fantastic. But yeah, 11 home runs in that one. So the Giants 11 runs on 13 hits. The Padres 16 runs on 17 hits. Jesus Christ! Let me go to the box score on this thing. This was just insane. But yeah, let's see. Uh, a couple guys came in for the Giants, but everybody had a freaking hit. I mean, except for a couple of guys that came in late. But hell, Estrada was 4 for 5. And then you look at the pitching line. Mania pitched 2 innings, gave up 5 hits, 5 runs, 4 were earned. Junis comes in, he gives up 5 hits, 5 runs, all 5 were earned. Rogers pitched two thirds of an inning, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs. Alexander 1 run, 1 hit, 3 runs. I mean, it was like holy shit. And then if you look at San Diego, same thing. With that, everybody had a hit except for Kim. He was 0 for 4. And then, yeah, Joe Musgrove, 3 1/3, 6 innings, 7 earned runs. Honeywell, 1 hit, 1 run. Hill, let's see, no, not Hill. Wilson, 4 hits, 3 runs given up. Uh, and then with all of that, uh, oh, is there no time of game on this? What was the time of game? Oh, they don't have the time of game on here. Usually they always put the time of game. They got the attendance. They don't have time of game. Hell, I wonder if I can find that real quick. Let's see. Oh, hold on a second. I know what I can do. Oh, and we're running out of time here, but let me see if I can find do this because I'm gonna make a. Let me go scores for. See, no, oh, can I not go back to? Oh, there we go. April. There we go. 29th. Bear with me. Bear with me. All right. There we go. Okay. Let's see if they got. Oh, box. Let me go to box. Apps being slow. Fucking MLB. Tell you what. Okay, there's the box score. Is that right? Okay, that one was a long game. 3 hours, 44 minutes. Okay. I was gonna say maybe the pitch clock helped that one out a little bit. No, that one was long. It was 3:44. There you go. All right, Joe. That's basically all I got to talk to y'all about today. Also, didn't get into F1, but Sergio Perez of Red Bull won that game, run the race, and Verstappen finished second. Red Bull's won every race so far. Looked like they could run away with that one pretty easy. Golf, we're not going to get into golf unless it's a major. This Saturday, though, Kentucky Derby. Get your bets in. Drink your mint juleps. It's going to be awesome. All right, well, I'll talk to y'all next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Or I should say sports time, sports channel. All right, cheers, everybody. Y'all have a good rest of your week. Enjoy the Derby on Saturday. Go Stros. All right, y'all. See y'all next week.